Hello, Dustin here. Welcome to Big Red's Barn. If you got a red beard, do you have to have the red truck? Anyways, bought this 57 Chevy truck about 2 years ago, and I noticed that the transmission didn't shift as I felt that it should. It was a little stiff down low, but a little loose when it was in the higher RPMs when I was driving around. And I set out to try and gain some information on if I could adjust the transmission and the way it shifted without having to tear it open and rebuild it. And after a little research, I discovered that this particular transmission, which is a 700 R4 automatic overdrive transmission, and this one actually came out of a 1991 Astro minivan when I looked the serial number up, but I discovered that it has what's called a TV cable, or a transmission valve cable. And you can adjust those, which controls basically the pressure or the line pressure inside the transmission. So I'm going to show you how I have adjusted mine. First thing we're going to do is pop the hood. Then we find the TV cable. This is the TV cable that goes from the transmission up to the carburetor. It's got a cable with a little stop on the end. And what you have to do is you have to adjust the length of this cable as it goes down the transmission so that when you push on the throttle and it pulls on that cable, that the relationship for how much travel this cable has going that way is relative to the amount of throttle you're giving it that way, or the amount of power you're putting to the truck. And the first thing I noticed was the geometry of the distance between this point here and the pivot point on the throttle, and the distance from here to here was not quite correct. So I bought this bracket, this shiny gold bracket right here, that bolts onto the side of this Holley carburetor and gave me the correct geometry for this. Now, all I read was how to adjust the factory ones with the plastic slider and the clicks and all that stuff. Well, that's not what this is. This is aftermarket. So I had to figure out how to make it work. Essentially what I did was I made it to where when you push the throttle all the way, banjo string tight. Now, I did that not really knowing what this was doing to the transmission. So let's go into the transmission and see how we can verify that I have the cable correctly adjusted. Okay, so this is where my TV cable comes in. This is where my TV cable comes through the transmission, down to this lever, and it pushes on this here, which controls my transmission pressure. So as I push on the throttle, basically at zero throttle, we want it off of it, which is about what I have. And then at wide open throttle, you want it to be all the way in. And I went up and verified with the throttle pedal. I had someone help me push the throttle full throttle, and it went all the way down. So I'm happy that my TV cable is adjusted correctly. When we first got the truck a couple years ago, it was slipping just a little bit in second gear, and it's progressively gotten worse. Now that we have this TV cable adjusted correctly, where when I push the skinny pedal all the way to the floor, that valve is all the way in, I'm getting maximum line pressure. We're hoping that'll save our transmission from any major repair, and maybe it could live a healthy life behind the big block. We'll soon find out. Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see more videos about working on classic cars, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, have a good day.